Batman, Caped Crusader. It's the new reboot or adaptation of the Batman, set in the 1940s, and yet another new take of the Batman's world. I loved it. If I'm gonna be honest, this is my favorite version of Batman so far, and Bruce Wayne himself as well. I recently got finished watching all of it, and honestly, as much as I loved it, it was pretty overwhelming. One thing that bothered me was the introduction of the villains. The over-introduction was overwhelming. The whole season, which made character development suffer pretty bad. Sure, we got some with Harvey Dent and Barbara Gordon, especially Harvey Dent, only for him to get killed off. Also, the show seemed to heavily focus on Bruce Wayne being Batman way too much. The focus on Bruce's childhood trauma was good until it went nowhere, just so it can introduce Harley Quinn. Don't get me wrong, this version of Harley is cool, but it clearly felt that it showed Bruce's trauma for the sake of her introduction. Same with the rest of characters, it all felt like it heavily focused on the plot instead of also showing character development. Other than Harvey Dent, I actually felt he had the most development, but again, killed off. It was honestly nice seeing how he was affected by the acid thrown to his face and having to live being scarred in half. It was so refreshing to see because they actually gave one of the characters an arc, even though he also ended being a villain. But it doesn't feel overwhelming because it actually balanced developing his character and the plot. The way they just killed him off was pretty disappointing. But it did show how much he changed and was willing to do things right at the cost of his life. Barbara Gordon at least got some character development as well, how she's able to see the good of criminals and help them change, or give them a better life. Again, it felt more in sake for the plot with, and her relationship with Batman is a nice touch at least, willing to help a vigilante, especially since Batman saved her, which aligns well with her character. Not gonna lie, though, I really loved the 1940s setup and the character designs of the characters. Personally, I think it's their best designs, in my opinion. It's so nice to them all. I definitely love Harley Quinn's design of her costume. So badass and does make me have chills down my spine. I love the new take how she's calm and intimidating instead of the goofy, happy, obnoxious girl. It's in reverse, actually. Harleen Quinzel being the goofy one, and Harley Quinn being serious and stoic, which is really interesting take on the character, and I hope to see more of her. The show has some well-developed characters and interesting portrayal of Bruce Wayne. Personally, I think it's the best-looking Bruce Wayne I've ever seen, in my opinion. But it also has underdeveloped villains and secondary characters, rushed backstories, and heavily focuses on action and drama rather than character development. I will not lie to you, seeing a villain introduced EP after EP was so annoying and infuriating. Like, why couldn't the story balance its characters more? It felt it was trying to get over their introductions at once, which made their development suffer and, again, only focused on the plot. It makes it harder to connect with them, which messes up the story and makes it hard to understand their motivations. Again, also the secondary characters, it was nice seeing them, but they felt one-dimensional and hardly any development. Now, this is the first season. They'll probably get their development next season, which I hope so. Cramming too many villains at once made the story felt messy. It was hard to watch 'cause of it. It just felt so rushed and tedious. The pacing was something. Ugh. Well, I still love it, and still hyped for the next season. Balancing the pace of a series is important to maintain the audience's engagement and understanding of the story. Additionally, the series may benefit from a more cohesive, overarching plot that ties together the individual episodes. If anything, it should have focused on one or two villains and made it 20 episodes at least. It's possible that they may have planned the first season to introduce all of the characters and villains, and season 2 will focus more on developing them further. It's always frustrating when a show has potential but falls short because of a few easily fixable issues. Again, I really like the show's strengths, such as its unique portrayal of well-known characters, interesting set design, and engaging plot points. You could also acknowledge that despite its flaws, the show has shown potential to improve in future seasons, with some adjustments to its pacing and character development. The show has room to become even better. Anyway, that's it for now. Like and subscribe and have a good day.